starring somebody who was in a movie once. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and tonight I was gonna talk about the Aladdin trailer, but I decided to go do something else instead. So I went and watched Sleepaway Camp 2 from 1988. Yeah, Angela is back, but she's no longer Felissa Rose. This time she's played by Pamela Springsteen, and she does, is it Springsteen or Springfield? See, I should...
It's Springsteen.
See, I was right the first time. But yeah, she does a fairly decent job of playing a reformed Angela. So we start the movie out with kids sitting around a campfire telling camp stories, like ghost stories and horror stories. You kids these days wouldn't know nothing about that type of shit, because all you do is play in your motherfucking electronics. I mean, do you even know what a summer camp is? Should I start by explaining what summer camp is to today's youth? See, back in my day, when our parents didn't want to be bothered with us when we were out of school for the summer, and they didn't trust us enough to stay at home because we were watching Beavis and Butthead, and there was a good chance that we might burn down the fucking house. So they sent us away to summer camp. And I used to go to Camp Sunshine, and it was just like this movie, except nobody died. I'm pretty sure nobody died. Somebody peed in the pool, though. And there was this kid that was always telling people, don't pee in the pool. So remember that. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about Sleepaway Camp 2. And like I said, it starts out with a group of campers telling stories. And then one of the campers starts telling the story of Camp Arawak.
Arawak.
But yeah, Arawak sounds... Anyway, Camp Arawak. And telling the story of Angela and how they discovered her with a head in her lap, and then it turns out she was a he, and all of this crazy, crazy stuff. And there's a bunch of guys sitting around, and there's this girl. And so then the girl's counselor comes and says, hey, what are you doing? You can't be sneaking away from the cabin. Get your ass back to the cabin. Well, it turns out it's Angela, and her name's Angela, and the movie doesn't waste any time like they did in the first one, making you wonder who's killing these people. It makes it abundantly clear that Angela is back and she's killing people. Or actually, she's sending them home. Because that's what happens when people turn up missing. Somebody will be like, where's this person at? And Angela's like, oh, well, I sent them home because they were fornicating in the shed out behind the cabin. They were doing this, they were doing that. She's sending them home. But in reality, she's killing them. And the funny thing is, the kills in this movie are mostly, for the most part, off screen. And I love these types of kills. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't need to see the gore. If it's a well directed shot, and these aren't necessarily the best directed shots, but they're effective. And I like, the subtlety or whatever you want to call it, like her swinging something and then the blood hitting her or the blood hitting the wall. There's a lot of stuff like that in this movie, but then there's like some stuff that they do show you, and it's nothing really crazy, but it's crazy, you know what I mean? We'll talk about it when we get there. But anyway, Angela is, this carefree, perky attitude, happy camper. She even sings a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it goes. Hattie hat, or how's it go?
I'm a happy camper.
No, on fucking In Living Color when he goes, like here it go, and then he's like, Hattie hat. A lot of you won't get that reference, but if you do, let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, so yeah, we have the happy camper song, and like that's let you know that you're in for a treat, because this movie doesn't necessarily take itself serious. It's your typical 80s camp movie, but there just happens to be somebody going around killing all these bad kids. And that's the thing. These kids are all bad. These girls. Let's talk about this. This movie has more titties than the entire Friday the 13th franchise, all in the span of an hour and 20 minutes. and they are some lovely, lovely breastises. It's like almost a breast per kill. Every time there's a kill, someone shows their breast or something. And it's like there's just as many titties in this movie as there are kills. And that's, something you don't really see too often. So I got to give this movie credit for that. It's got all the boobies. But yeah, these kills, like I said, they're sort of off screen. There's a scene with these twins, and they're these dope heads. They're out in the woods. They're smoking dope. They're fornicating with the boys. So Angela decides to send them home. In the most, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, these girls are bad kids. They're bad kids, so they have to be punished. And like they don't necessarily show anything in the scene, but the scene's super duper duper effective because the girl wakes up, Angela's pouring alcohol on her face. She sits up, and there's her sister, like burnt to a crisp. And then Angela says, you're a bad influence on your sister, da 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 da. Got her smoking dope, just sitting there pouring gas on her. And then, they don't show it, but you get the picture. You know what I mean? You get the picture. Why are you dogs coming in here making noise? You better not bump my tree. Get out. You better get on out of here. Sorry about that, everybody. I got bad dogs. But yeah, so Angela starts dispersing these kids, and in between the kids being killed, like I said, this is your typical 80s camp movie. Like they do a panty raid, which is one of my favorite scenes in the movies. And then the girls, they go and do a jock strap raid on the boys to get them back. And then that's another scene where it comes in, and then there's this girl flashing her boobies for everybody to see. Angela walks in and sees it. Obviously, she's going to have to send her home. And she really liked Mare. Because Mare's the girl that she was going to send home. But she really liked her. She was going to give her another chance. All she had to do was apologize. But she didn't want to apologize. But anyway, what else is good about this movie? Oh, yes. Let's talk about TC. TC is he's the boys counselor, and he has one of the most amazing mullets I've ever seen, probably one of the best mullets of the 80s. Hopefully you can't hear my dog out there making even more noise. I figured the secretary would have known to put them in their cage because she knows I'm a busy man trying to do stuff. It's past my bedtime. But yeah, she didn't know she thought I was over here talking to myself, everybody. But don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm not the type of channel to just cut this shit out so that I look like some professional that I'm not. So we're just going to keep on talking about the movie. So let's go ahead.
Keep it real.
Don't interrupt me when I'm talking.
Sorry.
Anyway, so, yeah, there's Allie. Allie's the other bitch. See, there's a bunch of bitches, and then there's Molly. Molly's the nice girl, and then Allie's like the captain of the bitch girls. But it's not like they're all bitches, except for Allie is a bitch because she goes up to Molly and is like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate Angela. And your boyfriend is a lousy lay. And that was kind of uncalled for because Molly didn't do anything to anybody. But yeah, so the kills in this movie are wonderful. Like the references in this movie. This movie has references. These kids, they're going to scare Angela because nobody likes Angela because she's like that unnaturally perky, happy type of person, and it just gets on everybody's fucking nerves. Hell, it even kind of gets on my nerves a little bit, but I still absolutely love it. But yeah, they're gonna scare Angela, and it's funny because they got a hockey mask and a machete, and the dude makes him a little glove with finger knives, and he puts on some burnt flesh looking makeup. I wonder what that's a reference to. But anyway, here's what's fun, and I actually didn't fucking notice it the first time I saw it because I'm an idiot. So they go to scare her, and TC tells Angela, hey, the kids are going to scare you. She's like, oh, okay, I'll handle it. Well, she dresses up like Leatherface. You see what she does? She dresses up like Leatherface, and she kills them with a chainsaw. And it's fucking wonderful. They don't necessarily show it, but it's still like a very effective scene, and I really, really enjoy it. As well as, all the kills, even though most of them are off screen, like I said, there's still... This movie's a whole lot of fucking fun, is basically what I'm trying to get at. And it doesn't get any more fun than when Allie comes back to her cabin and finds she has a note from the guy she likes. And she's like, oh, well, and the fucked up thing was, she just got done being a whore like 5 minutes prior to this. So she's going to go whore it out again. And then she gets up there and finds out it's Angela. Angela played a prank. Well, not really a prank, but Angela was waiting for her. And then this, hands down, best kill in a horror movie. One of the best scenes in a horror movie. Absolutely, it's so, like, it's just, they don't even necessarily show anything, but it's just so repulsive, the thought of what is being done to this girl in this scene. And it's just, it's so fucking good, and I love it. So anyway, everybody starts to notice that there's no girls left in the girl cabin. So Uncle John, the guy that runs the camp at TC, even though they just gave Angela Counselor of the Week, they decide that they're going to fire her because she doesn't send everybody home. It's like, you can't have a fucking camp if you're sending everybody home. Hey, by sending everybody home, I mean sending everybody home. Okay? So, they decide to fire her. She doesn't take it very well. And then it leads to another amazing, like one of the best scenes in an 80s slasher, when Molly and, I can't remember the guy's name, I'm not good with names, but Molly and her boyfriend, they go up because they feel bad that Angela got fired and they want to go make her feel better. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that a nice gesture that they would want to do such a thing? Well, they get up to the cabin and they're sitting around and they're trying to cheer her up, and she's talking about, stuff. And the funny thing was, Angela is like nonstop talk in this movie, and there's a scene where she talks about how she used to be the quiet one, wouldn't talk to anybody. So I thought that was good. Now to get back to what I was talking about, they're up at the cabin, and then the guy goes in the cabin and says it stinks in here. And sure enough, Angela's forced to tie them up and keep them. And yeah, this leads to one of my favorite third acts in a horror movie, because this is one of my favorite horror movies. It's not all that great by any means, but I don't think it was meant to be. I think it knew what it was going to be. It knew that it was going to be this thing that only a certain tier type of people would enjoy, and it's the best at being that. I don't even know what the hell to grade it. But I can tell you this. I mean, I couldn't put a number on here. This movie makes me a happy camper. How about you? So yeah, that's the best I can do, everybody. Hopefully this was better than the first one. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. We'll get better eventually. Past my bedtime. I don't have my watch on, but I'm pretty sure it's past my bedtime. So if you could go out of your way to click that like button, share this with your friends, and maybe subscribe. Also, possibly check out my Spreadshirt store, but you don't have to. I just figure I figure I'll start, trying to fucking remember to fucking tell you people about this stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, I've got to go. Have a great night. Oh, and Leela, have a good day.